Thank you.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the 9th Annual MSU Science Festival, an annual celebration of the STEAM disciplines, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. We are so excited to have you here. My name is Catherine Hagman. I'm with the Science Festival. I'll be your host for tonight's session. And tonight we're joined by Detroit Hives with Tim and Nicole of Detroit Hives and some very special guests, John and Andy Goodman. So welcome to all of you. So excited to hear all about bees.
Blessings to be here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Well, before we get started, just want to once again thank you everyone who's attending. We encourage you to ask questions throughout the presentation. We'll answer those at the end of the session. If you're joining us on Zoom, you can feel free to use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. If you're joining us on the Facebook Live, feel free to ask your questions right in the comments section, and we'll get to those at the end of the session. All right, so without further ado, I will hand it off to all of you.
Awesome. Thank you, Catherine, for that wonderful introduction. And once again, thank you, Michigan State, for inviting us to speak on the power of sound therapy and the powering of the buzzing of bees. Once again, my name is Timothy Paul Jackson.
And my name is Nicole Lindsey.
And we're the co-founders as well as co-executive director for Detroit Hives, a 501c3 nonprofit organization working to create sustainable communities for people and pollinators. Today, we're talking about the healing powers of bees, but also sound therapy. In my introduction of the spiritual connection with bees began in the early stages of beekeeping, learning how therapeutic honeybees are and the value that they bring. And I want to just share a quick slide of one of the projects that we're working on, where we're taking the sound frequencies of bees and working to create healing, a healing power with that. And if I don't mind, I want to just share this quick screen with you for you guys just to review what we have. 1 second. Let's get this going. Okay, we got something going on. 1 second. Okay. And if everyone can see the screen, station view. If I can get a thumbs up for those attending, if you can see the screen, just give me a thumbs up. Anyone? Thumbs up? Good, good, good. Awesome. So let's talk about one of our newest projects called ApidCure. It's ApidCure is where we believe a healthy future is pretty much impossible without the conservation of healthy bees. It is our mission to nurture the relationship between pollinators and people, a relationship that helps to build sustainable communities and environments for all to enjoy. That's music to my ears, to our ears. ApidCure, pollinated by Detroit Hives, is a research project that combines the happy sound frequencies of bees with other natural sounds and music to help you with your relaxation, better sleep, meditation, mental health, and your overall happiness. Happy bees, happy people. What health benefits are binaural beats claim to have? Binaural beats are claimed to induce the same mental state association with the meditation practice, but much more quickly. And in fact, binaural beats are said to reduce anxiety, increase focus and concentration, help lower stress, increase relaxation, foster positive moods, promote creativity, and also help manage pain. Meditation is the practice of claiming the mind and tuning down the number of random thoughts that pass through it. A regular meditation practice has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety, slow down the rate of brain aging and memory loss, promote emotional health, and lengthen attention span. Practicing meditation regularly can be quite difficult. Some people have looked to technology for help. Now, one thing, like I said, that we're working on is this new research project where we're taking the sound of bees and we want to create a research project where it can help promote or help reduce stress. And one project that we worked on was with honey vinyl to take the sounds of our bees to produce this sound. It's a very short audio track that I want everyone to listen to and partake in. Here we go. And once again, this is the sounds of our bees incorporated in an audio track. Now that was just a little snippet. Didn't want to play too much. I know for the sake of time, we want to be respectful of everyone's that's attending and all our speakers, but that was just a short clip of what we were able to do with taking our recorded sound of bees to create an audio track to help promote an active lifestyle, but also help reduce stress and anxiety. From furthermore, I'm going to pass it to Andy and Jonathan Goldman that will talk about the healing powers of sound and the buzzing technique of how to reduce stress and the humming effect. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Here we go. Are we off mute?
Here.
Okay. Hi,
Very
everyone.
good. First of all, we just want to say thank you so much to Timothy and Nicole and Catherine, because this is a real joy for us to talk about sound and bees and humming, because we are in tune with the bees. Without the bees, there's not much hope for us. So
That's
we
right,
gotta strengthen the bees.
And we're very in tune with sound and with all the things. And we're going to talk about some of the attributes or the abilities of making sound and receiving sound in just a second. But I just want to say that this aspect of, using sound to actually affect your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies is pretty well known, and it's growing more and more. And the effect of sound as it goes into our ear, affecting our brain, our heart rate, our respiration, this is called psychoacoustics, and this happens anytime that you listen to a sound, whether it's music, the humming of bees, or even somebody's voice. And then the other thing is called vibroacoustics, and that's where the sound goes into your body, affecting you on a cellular level. And this is also real true. We don't have that much time to give you the scientific data, but that's real true.
But the vibroacoustic is where really the humming comes into play, because when we are humming, we are actually at a deep cellular level. Our cells are feeling our frequency of our hums. And so we wrote a book actually called The Humming Effect, and we have it here as it sounds. And at any rate, we call it conscious humming. And we even have a chapter in our book about the bees. So
right. And wanted to talk just for a minute as we're talking, because there are many different ways and many different sounds. When you have, for example, you're listening to the sounds of bees, and we have a very well-known doctor who has actually recorded them and worked with the sounds of bees. But the idea of sound, once again, different types of sound affect your heart rate, your brain waves, your blood pressure. And one of the really excellent things, for example, about humming, we were looking for an overall generic sound that affected everyone in a positive level. And Andy, just read some of the effects over here.
Well, we chose to focus on humming because it is a sound that literally everyone can make. It is a sound that babies hum, elderly people, I mean, just the whole spectrum of our humanity, people hum. And we've never heard anyone say, I'm just not a very good hummer.
Everybody can hum, and nobody's judgmental about their voice when they hum.
Yeah.
And a couple of things that happen, Andy.
Well, when we are using our own voice and we are humming, many things physiologically are actually happening. Our blood pressure is lowered. And Timothy, many of the things things that you read were right on. You know, our blood pressure is lowered, our heart rate is lowered. There are different hormones that are emitted, such as melatonin, such as oxytocin. And on a really important one is nitric oxide.
And nitric oxide is a vasodilator, meaning that it allows the blood in your body to move more fluidly, and also it is an antiviral agent. So when you hum, it actually is useful for treatment of conditions such as sinusitis, among other things. And another thing that happens when you hum is you get a reduced level of stress-related hormones, such as cortisol. So these things are all happening. If somebody is a little bit stressed out, all they have to do is taking a couple of nice deep breaths, do a couple of hums, and we'll lead you in those in a moment, and you will get your heart rate and particularly your blood pressure dropping many points. It's really radically important. It's a non-pharmacological, pharmaceutical means of really affecting you on a physical level. And we think that's so very, very important.
And you know, and it's so interesting to us because when we hear the humming of bees, you know, that when we're listening, you know, that's that psychoacoustic aspect of sound healing that Jonathan was talking about. But when we're listening to that humming sound of bees, you know, we are just going into that place where we're connecting on a frequency level that reduces that stress that we're feeling. And I don't know, I just am so excited that you guys are working with bees and that you are bringing this important aspect of bees into our consciousness. And then it's a, you know, joy for us to add, you know, the sort of the scientific aspects of working with sound because we've been doing it for so many years.
And just on a level, since this program deals also with the arts, and on a level in terms of the arts, well, we love it because I've been nominated for a Grammy and I have a number of different award-winning, best-selling recordings using sounds that you listen to really affect us on a physiological level. And it's just so very important. So people are becoming more and more interested in the power of sound to transform and heal. This is ancient. This goes back to the beginning of, shall we say, recorded history in terms of people using music for healing. But now we're getting a lot of data to indicate how and why that is happening. And that's just a brilliant, brilliant thing. So we want to applaud anyone who is interested in checking out this stuff. And there's a lot of material on there, but really dive deeply, because sometimes these simple explanations are not necessarily the complete truth. There's a whole lot going on. Sound is a multifoliate. It's like having this huge, if you like, smorgasbord, this nourishment of food all over the place, and every food, depending upon the person, may be therapeutic and helpful. It depends upon who the person is and what they like.
And, you know, one of the ways that we do work with our own sound and with humming is, you know, we call it conscious humming, as I had mentioned a minute ago, but also it's important for breathing. And so before we hum, we focus on breathing, you know, what we call diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing. And so when we take some nice deep breaths and then we go into a hum, you know, there is that definite place of reducing stress and letting go of, you know, all that stuff that maybe be, you know, just, you know, really affecting us possibly in a negative way. And you start humming, and before you know it, it is that positive, that harmonious, that relaxing part of ourselves that comes into play. And we can all do this just simply with what we have within ourselves, our own voice.
One quick thing, just relating it, a lot of people are into yoga these days. And there is a technique called Brahmari Pranayama, which is a breathing while you're humming. And you know what? It is called the humming bee breath.
Yes.
And literally all you do is you close your eyes, you do this conscious humming that we're doing, and that is actually a very advanced. So a lot of people now in the yoga tradition are coming back to this. So we wanted to bring this, that it's scientific and it's spiritual and it's crazy. It's so simple. Can we lead you in a brief humming exercise of just 3 hums? We want you all who's watching this now or who's going to ever watch this, first check yourself out, and then Andy's going to lead you in a couple of nice deep breaths, and then we're only going to do 3 breaths. Normally we suggest 5 or even 25, 5 or 25 hums. That's right. We're trying to go really fast and fit it in. We don't have time.
We can slow down because that's what humming helps us to do. And so what we're going to suggest is that we close our eyes and we begin to take a couple of nice deep breaths, you know, just breathing gently, breathing in and out, and just letting go of anything that really isn't serving us in this moment. So we're taking some nice deep breaths. Releasing that breath with a sigh. And now we'll begin to do the first of 3 hums, and we'll let Jonathan go ahead and guide us in that.
So we're going to breathe in and have your lips closed. That's the only thing we suggest, and do this in any sort of sound that just feels comfortable for you. There is no right or wrong pitch or right or wrong. It's all just see what you observe. Close your eyes if you can, because we're just going to do 3 of these, and see if you can feel where the sound is vibrating, either in your head or your throat or your chest or wherever. So we're going to take a breath, and then we're going to sound forth with the first of 3 hums. You ready? Another nice deep breath.
One more.
And then being in silence for just a minute, checking yourself out. It's really important whenever you make sound, to just be in silence.
And it's almost when we're in that silence that we begin to hear our inner wisdom.
So how did you all feel anything? Catherine, Timothy, did you all feel anything from that, just that little thing?
Definitely a release.
Yeah.
Definitely a calming release.
Oh,
You know, what's interesting is that bees, many people think that bees make a noise, but it sounds just like a humming noise, but it's actually their wings that they beat 200 beats per second that gives them that buzzing sound, that buzzing distinct sound. But I just thought it was very interesting connecting that humming noise that we created with bees as well. I thought that was very interesting.
And then
something,
oh, go ahead.
Something to try with the bees is seeing if you can train and begin to change each other's frequency. That may happen. That happens in nature.
Yeah, so I was just thinking about the times when we inspecting our hives or going through the hives, how I was just kind of sit in silence with them and kind of listen and in tune myself with them.
And their vibrations.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
And, you know, before right when we began to hum, I thought to myself, this is really just such an honoring of the bees and the bee kingdom. And I felt like we were kind of just saying, please just stay with us and be healthy.
And how
Yeah.
cool is that?
Yeah. So
On
I
Earth
always
Day.
speak affirmations over my BEs too. So just being in tune with them, and they are in tune with us. So
Yeah.
getting to know them and just speaking affirmations over them.
And
Oh, I love that.
Today being Earth Day.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Earth Day. Wow, that's right. It's
Nice.
exciting.
Well, there are a million things more that we could talk about. Is there a question that anyone has?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for leading us in that. It was such a release. That felt great. And I could feel that vibration all throughout my shoulders. And yeah. Just to a reminder to everyone joining us, feel free to ask any questions that you might have using the Q&A function or in the comments section. No questions yet, just a couple comments about the humming bee breath that you mentioned earlier. Someone said that's their favorite yoga breath.
Ah, great,
I can
yes.
see why.
And the only difference in that and what we did, you do it for longer, obviously. We normally do it for a whole lot longer too. You know, 3 hums, is not very long. Is that oftentimes people will either block their ears or do a particular mudra, and that is helpful, but not necessary. Mostly just keeping your eyes closed and doing the breath with the intention. And then what you find is you can also change the effect of the sound by changing your intention, changing the feeling that you're putting onto the sound literally will affect the sound.
You know, and it's interesting, even just doing 3 hums can really make a difference. So, you know, when we're feeling that level of stress that we are all feeling at this particular time, even just humming for a few seconds can make a really big difference.
And it's important for people to be doing this because we are indeed really in a really extraordinary time, and we need to be as stress-free and as attuned to the energy. Listening to the bees is great, listening to soothing music is great, making your own sound. We need to take back the power of healing to ourselves, and sound is a wonderful way of doing that.
I will certainly be putting this into practice each week, if not each day. I agree, you know, right now it's a stressful time for many people, so we all need this.
And Catherine, just a real quick thing, if you have 5 minutes and you do this for 5 minutes, allow yourself about 2 or 3 minutes after to be in silence, because you may be so blissed out that you can't get up. And this is the truth.
Also, I want to add what I felt doing those 3 breaths. I deal with sinuses recently, and when just doing those 3 breaths just kind of cleared that my nasal passages. So I'll be doing that.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's great for sinusitis, and particularly when you're humming with that one, make it a little bit more of a nasalized. So nasalized, like that, and it'll actually affect it even more. Anything to amplify things.
Yeah.
Turning it up to 11.
Glad you had that experience. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So unfortunately, we are running out of time. I would love to invite you all back to do this again. This is so great. For everyone watching and for myself as well, I'm curious, where can we learn more about this? Would also love to know, Tim and Nicole, where we can hear more of this bee music. That was such a great little sample.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're currently working on developing a soundtrack as well as an app, and we'll keep everyone up to date when the release of that, but it definitely will be sometime this mid-spring 2021. Yeah.
Great. And we would just invite people to come to our website, which is healingsounds.com. That's healingsounds, one word, .com. And it's got a real lot of information about sound. We've got a wonderful recording called The Cosmic Hum that's very much like bees. So we're all in this together, resonating together with different ways of approaching totally states of being on this beloved Earth Day. So indeed.
Yeah. And Nicole and Timothy and Catherine, we just wish you so much beautiful, beautiful healing energy for your work with the bees. And really thank you so much.
Keep it up. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
And then we also want to invite everybody to join the Hive. Follow us on Detroit Hives on our social media handles, such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Awesome. Well, Andy and Jonathan and Tim and Nicole, thank you so much again. Andy and Jonathan, it was nice to meet you. Tim and Nicole, always great to see you. Always exciting to see what you're both up to with Detroit Hives. And thank you to everyone who's tuning in. Hope to see you again at another Science Festival event. We have events going on for the rest of April, so a little over a week left. Hope to see you there. You can learn more at sciencefestival.msu.edu. With that, I will sign off. Thank you so much.
Blessings. Thank you
very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Be well.